Fucking aggressive.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I'm a man of peace.
False news.
I don't think that's what it's called.
I don't know. I don't watch the news.
Did you see Elon Musk wants to make a website to rate news websites on how credible they are?
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing.
So we're live.
No, I know. I'm treating this
Elon
like
Musk,
my fucking show at this point.
Elon Musk made flamethrowers, and then he was like, "Hey, let me sell this to the general public." I don't think that we should like turn to him for any like great ideas. He put a fucking car into space, and he was like, "That's just what I'm doing now. I'm putting a car in space."
It was pretty cool though.
It is cool.
All the moments of the launch synced up with the music.
Yeah, but not exactly a great fucking... This is not the guy who's going to...
I'm telling you, Elon Musk is gonna be the villain. He's just, it's like the movie. We thought he was the good guy the whole time, and now it's slowly revealing that he's
he's anti-union. Come on.
So villainous.
Oh, let's not do this. All right, Scott, please take this. Please.
I have a surprise.
This is just going to become the podcast.
You know what? You know what they're selling now? In grocery stores?
Watermelon?
Watermelon?
Watermelon.
Oh!
I was wondering what your surprise snack
I thought it was a jar of meat.
It's a bucket of fucking raw meat?
Like your terrare.
That'd be so great. He just picks up this like handful of meat and just shoves it in his mouth and chews the next hour.
I'm tired. Anything goes.
I'm doing that next time. Next week.
Just
next time. Dragon Ball Z.
All right, let's do this.
Apparently, you can tune in at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on twitch.tv/DaleRick to watch William stuff his mouth with a bunch of meat. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Hi guys. How are you? Eric, your
really
last
good.
day was today. I haven't asked you yet. How are you feeling?
I feel real good.
I
feel real good.
I bet you do. Are you drinking right now?
No, I'm sober. I'm drinking many energy drinks.
Oh, I thought you were drinking like drinking, like woohoo! No. Like we were gonna have like some Cancun moments or something. So
no.
All right.
No, I'm just trying to stay awake for this session because I want to be a big boy. I can do it.
All right. So, I'm sure I believe you. I believe in you. All right. Last session, Bellum couldn't get in because he has a dragon mark, and so he stayed down in the caves down below. While he stayed down there, you had Stalbor and Reich went into the keep, and things went a little bit different than how they expected they would. For some reason, this lower portion of the of Dreadhold was not at all what they had expected. They went in, it was completely abandoned on the bottom floor, encountered a ghost. And the next floor above that was very, again, more or less abandoned. They came across very light security. The dwarves just seem to not be prepared. Things just seem to be like a little off. But somehow the two of them, through mistake and folly, were able to go to where it was that all of the mages seemed to have been held. And then while they were in there, they encountered another dwarf that was more or less just like, hey, you do you. This isn't my job here. And then finally were able to break out the person that they had wanted to get, which was Genocide, and also break out somebody by the name of Haldren. They broke them out and brought them to Haldren Urbersek. Brought them down and out, and literally they're walking over towards the tunnels. And as they're walking towards the tunnels, they're seeing Bellum standing there. Bellum is watching this all happen. So you guys come bursting through and down over to the archway where they were, and Bellum wasn't able to go in yet at this point, right? So you guys go walking out to Bellum. What do you say as you approach him? Again, Haldren, I believe Haldren came around the corner first. Immediately behind that was the two of you, and Genocide was coming in last. Stalbar, you obviously have opinions at the moment. But you guys come walking down. What do you say to Bellum?
I would say, we have an extra. This is Haldren. Pointing at Haldren.
Okay. Before you respond, Bellum, so what you had witnessed was that you had walked towards the gate. As you had walked towards the gate, it started to get brighter and brighter, and there was a burning in your mark, and you could feel the burning happening. You're not sure what it was, but there was like searing pain that was burning in the mark, almost like a warning. And then you saw Reich and Stalbor stop underneath the gate as it got extremely bright, underneath the gate. And for the past minute or so, they've been standing there, you trying to get their attention, but unable to do so. And then all of a sudden, Reich kind of like comes to, the brightness of the gate falls, and Reich turns to you and says, we brought an extra with us, and gestures over towards nothing inside the room. They've never even gone into the castle thus far.
I just go with what?
Pointing into Haldren. I say, this is Haldren.
You look over.
Not complicated.
Haldren's
He's a pyromancer.
Haldren's not standing there. Both of you are like, oh wait, didn't he come through before us? Like, he's not standing there.
I go back. Is Genocide there?
Genocide is also not standing there. You go walking back into the keep, and as you go walking back into it, you notice, as I had described beforehand, that first room that's down there happens to be the room that has a whole bunch of mining equipment and everything that's there.
Well, shit.
What?
Turns out we didn't bring them at all. I'm gonna go ahead and detect some magic as a ritual cast.
So it's gonna take 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then go ahead and detect fucking, I don't even know at this point.
I don't even know what to do in this situation because we walked through a doorway and everything we've done got deleted. It's like a bad quick save.
Yeah, like I don't want to do that. I'm definitely not going to want to do this again because it's probably just going to be.
Can't do it again.
So you can start doing your ritual cast of that. Mind you, because of what you what you guys had all just experienced, everything that you just had done, never actually happened. All the spells that you had spent, all the ki that you had spent, all the health that you had lost, all those things are actually slowly realizing that they're not actually missing from your character. You actually
that makes things incredibly complicated because we were missing spell slots before we went through the archway.
No, you weren't. It was a fresh day.
No, it wasn't because I was missing a key. More importantly,
that's fine.
More importantly, what I need to point out is, am I still aged?
Yeah, no.
So I wouldn't know one way or the other, but I'm
gonna say to Reich, I'm just gonna be like, you've been gone just what seemingly like seconds, right?
No, listen.
They stood there. They stood there still for a minute. But go ahead, Eric.
We walked through the gate. Me and him went ahead. There was something happened to you. I look like I'm just trying to like grasp something just completely unattainable, and I just sit there for a moment. I take a deep breath and I say, "We went ahead. Something happened to you. We thought it was a trap of sorts. We figured we could forge ahead, come back, and collect you. We went inside. We fought guards. We fought our way all the way to Genocide. when we reached we reached him. We reached the prison. We got them out, and then we came down here to escape, and then they were gone.
Reich, you stood there blankly for a minute on the other side of that bright portal, and then you came back.
I now understand that. I understand that that was not real. Now I'm just letting you know why we are so very confused.
Usually my kind are immune to such effects, which worries me even more.
But are those guards dead? What was any of that real?
I mean, I would tell you to go check again, but I feel you'll just stand on the other side of the portal for a minute and then tell me the same thing happened.
I'll walk back in the room. To Bellum, does it look like I walk off, or do I just stand there?
To Bellum, it looks like you walk off or just stand there. While you're kind of like going around and testing
things... That doesn't answer the question. You said both.
While you're walking in there and investigating, could you do me a favor and actually make me an intelligence save, please, Ollie?
Okay. That's the newest, highest level spot I've ever experienced. Where you acknowledge the question and say both possible answers at the same time.
Scott just cast some magic on you.
So you as you go walking back in there, Bellum sees you going back in there and to inspect things. Like he just walks back in, you look, and you're like, and he just nods, like, yeah, I see you. You're fine.
Okay. Well, then I guess we go back. It seems that the last few hours of our life and everything we experienced did not happen, which is exceedingly worrying and gives me a great sense of existential good dread.
But
you think
no. If it did happen, if Bellum's perception was meddled with and not ours, then we'd be walking to our deaths. The guards will be on alert and they'll be ready for us.
If it's Bellum's perception that's being muddled with, then where are Genocide and the Pyromancer?
I don't know. None of this makes sense. I don't understand how this works. I know teleportation exists, but memory erasing?
Memory erasing definitely exists, right? Definitely exists.
So, what we need to do is either your guys' memory has either been really messed with and none of this happened, or my memory has been really messed with and it all happened. Genocide is obviously dangerous. What about this other person that was with him? He was in jail. Was he dangerous?
Yes.
He was the good kind of dangerous.
That doesn't exist. Don't touch
Raises an eyebrow at you.
I look at you and I say, you're the good kind of dangerous. I'm the good kind of dangerous.
So as you guys are having this conversation, okay? So this is what happens. You couldn't go in there because it was too painful, right? The thing got bright. You tried to jump through. You were able to get yourself through. The pain was incredible. You ended up running back to the other side and staying there. This is Bellum. You had seen the two of them go inside, and they've been gone for some time. Now, as they're approaching the portal from the other side, as they're coming towards it, all of a sudden they start walking towards it, but they start walking towards it and slowing down. You actually see that the other two they brought two other people with them, and the same thing happens to the two of them. They come walking through, and they start incredibly slowing down. This is Bellum outside of that world, is seeing things in the world that this Bellum is seeing. So you see the two of them are slowing down, your two companions, as is this human figure that's walking through with them as well. The Warforged that comes through with them as well, the one that you presume to be Genocide as well. Let me re-describe Genocide for you. Genocide is inside a Warforged chassis that happens to be very, very advanced, it seems. It's actually very human-like in its movements, in its shape, its figure. It even has eyes that are made out of crystals that have a glow to them and everything. It has other crystals in its body that have a bit of a glow to them as well. So Genesis is very advanced-looking Warforged. As everybody slows down and starts to kind of like come to a stop, almost like they're lost, but staring off into space. You know, imagine you call out to them. They don't respond. The only one that doesn't completely stop is specifically Genocide. Genocide is like with extremely slow motion. We're talking like great grandma going uphill, in a pool covered in molasses, extremely slow motion, is still trying to make his way towards the gate. But this is what you're witnessing, Bellum. The whole conversation never happened, of course, because they just arrived here.
Okay, well, at least the last session wasn't made up. I'd rather this be made up than the last session be made up.
They can see me though, seemingly, right?
I mean, they're staring
If I'm
off.
like waving.
They're staring off into space. They're moving so slowly to you that if they even blink, it's going to take a while.
Jesus. I'm going to shoot an arrow at the feet of Reich
Sure.
to see if it gets his attention.
Take an arrow. You shoot at the feet of Reich. You don't have to roll. You're not going to hit him by accident. Bounces off the ground, just skittering off to the side. Reich doesn't notice.
Ugh. And you're saying I don't recall ever going through the portal and taking damage?
You do recall that. Yep, you absolutely
Okay.
do. Mm-hmm. It hurt. It sucked. And you've been sitting here for a while for them to come back.
I'm going to...
Did you short rest to heal yourself in that meanwhile while they were gone?
I would have imagined, yes.
You want to? You can roll that right now if you want to before we continue on.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. It's weird. It's actually showing my mouse.
I'm doing it again.
Except to fix it.
Anyway. So I guess I would... Standing there, and they're going so slow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run through.
to you, Bellum. 3 of them are moving imperceptibly slow, and the other one is moving incredibly slow. But at least you can perceive it, right? Now go ahead. What were you saying?
I'm gonna run through,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to try to grab Stalbor and pull him through with me.
Sure. Could you do me a favor? Because again, that's gonna hurt going through.
Yep, it's gonna hurt.
It's painful. Could you make the same save you made last
On
time?
save, I believe.
Yeah, as you're approaching it.
Yep. Now, I fail the save. Hold on. What kind of damage do I take?
It's actually radiant damage is what it does.
Oh,
no. Yeah. This one is radiant. Yep. Radiant.
Okay, I thought it was fire last time.
No. Did you watch the VOD from last week?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. I think you did take fire last time. My apologies. You did. This is a different archway. You take fire because it's burnt. Literally, your mark is burning.
Okay. So how much fire damage would I take?
I'm gonna roll for it right now. Do you want to do something?
Yeah, potentially, depending on how much damage it is.
I think you have to say that before I actually roll the dice.
Do I?
Yeah, I think so.
The spell captures something, lessening the effect and storing your next melee attack. You have resistance to the triggering type of damage until the start of next turn. Also, the first time you're fine. I'm absorbing elements.
Okay. Half damage.
Last time it was like 20 damage. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Because last time it was 5d6, and I think I rolled a lot. So we're gonna do the same thing. Okay. Oh, I rolled really crappy too. So
and
you take half
6
that.
damage.
Yeah. So what happens is you're like rushing through, get into the portal, and it's like bearing down on you with this huge amount of pain as your mark is literally burning into your skin. You have like a redness stretching around like your neck and area and shoulder where it is. So it's kind of stretching beyond where the actual mark is set into your body. And you grab Reich, you said by the arm or shirt or whatever.
Stalbor, yes.
My apologies, Stalbor. And so you're going to grab Stalbor and you're going to pull him. Now, Stalbor is very light. So it's not very hard to pull him, but Stalbor is very strong and by sheer instinct would resist something that he's not perceiving. So Stalbor is going to roll me an opposed... you can roll me in athletics or strength, whichever is probably the same for you. Stalbor is going to roll me that with disadvantage.
Should it work
athletics
for me,
or acrobatics, you said?
Athletics or strength. Stalbor, you would have rolled, my apologies, Stalbor, just a flat strength save with disadvantage.
They're the same.
Oh, okay. Save is the same for...
Oh, save is a +1.
Yeah.
So re-roll it. Yeah, don't end me.
I'm entirely...
We want you to fail, damn it.
Yeah. Okay.
Screwed up with this situation.
So you reach over, you grab, and you start trying to pull him. The problem is Stalbor, because of the belt that he wears, is just so incredibly strong. He's actually able to resist it, even in his incredibly dazed state. So let's step away from you for a second, Bellum. Stalwart, you're looking around trying to figure things out, right? You're talking to Reich, you're talking to Bellum, and everything's trying to, you're trying to figure out what's going on. You're very lost. But then all of a sudden, as you're trying to figure things out, something grabs you. Something, you can feel it's coming from the portal itself. You can feel the energies coming from the portal itself. It grabs you and starts trying to rip and pull at you, trying to yank and harm you. Probably some sort of protection spell, whatever it is. Obviously, you resisted whatever it was that just grabbed at you, but it hasn't let go either. What do you do, Stalwart?
All right. Considering you said I have all my spell slots back, I'm just going to dispel magic.
Sure.
Just pop it. Just go. Takes an action, so.
Sure. So you cast a spell magic, and could you do me a favor? Could you actually roll me your cast level check thingy that we do?
Is it an Arcana check?
The 5e thing for when you cast a spell magic above 3rd level.
That's
why I was asking you.
It's a caster level. It's D20 plus caster level.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd never heard that phrase before, so I was a little confused. Using your spellcasting ability. All right. Cool. I have I Eric. Sorry. I'm as confused.
Oh my God, Ollie! I literally had this set so it wasn't gonna work. You're fucking casting a dispel magic on a fake dispel magic. You're literally fake casting a fake spell in a fake world of fakeness. But you rolled a natty 20.
About force of will.
You did
Jesus
it.
Christ.
You broke the spell. We're all saved.
No. What happens is all of a sudden you start weaving the spell at whatever force or power it is on you. And all of a sudden
and Reich fucking dies.
You blink for a couple of seconds and cast the spell, and you see a hand form itself on you. So immediately Stalwart's mind is probably, it was an invisibility or whatever it was, and the person's appearing. But the person that's appearing in front of you is it's like folding out and showing that it's Bellum's arm that's grabbing you and pulling you. But then as it reveals Bellum's face and everything, you can see his mark is glowing bright. He's got a very pained look on his face as he's trying to grab you and pull you through. There's clearly magics on him that are trying to protect him from the arc hurting him. As the reality continues to shift, making its way out, you look over quickly to see the Bellum that you were just having a conversation with, as that one vanishes, almost looking like he's turned invisible. Reich is no longer standing where you saw him before, but a couple feet behind that, and almost like frozen still. You see that Genocide is very slowly moving forward, and once again Haldren reappears and is also standing still, much like how Reich is. You start to come to your senses and realize, holy shit, all of that was fake. Like, you just come into this realization. Bellum's got you. What do you guys do? Two of you can actually interact now. Real interactions.
I'll go through the gateway so that Bellum isn't burning alive.
Yeah.
You go along with the pole.
We come back through the gateway, and I'm like, there's some type of, for lack of a better word, fuckery happening. I turn and I point and say, you see how slowly they're moving? You were doing just that.
Well, this is definitely magic I've never seen before. This was probably with the whole time we were in Dreadhold, there was no magic that was honestly a threat. This is the threat.
We need to get Reich, get the Warforged, and I don't know who that other guy is. Is he coming after you?
I don't give a singular shit about him.
Well, I think we should get Reich first, and then all of us can get the Warforged.
I think I have a perhaps slightly easier way to do this. So, from what you said, Scott, is the Reich we see in there the real Reich? Just slow-mo?
The Reich that you see now, that's almost like frozen pause, slow motion, you're now gathering that that's probably the real Reich, and the two of you are in a shared dream or something. I am going to quickly cast Resilient Sphere on him, because spell effects cannot permeate the sphere. Only 3rd level or lower, I believe? Or is it 4th
Just
level
isn't spell effects. No spell effects can pass through the barrier.
Recently cast ones. I get what you're saying. All right, cool, nifty. And how big is this thing? Is it one person?
It's large, one creature. I would like to try and grab two of them, but I don't think I can.
A creature or object of large size or smaller, an unwilling creature must make a dexterity saving throw. Because,
Yeah, I'd totally be cool with you, like, him trying to get away from the spell, because he's not seen past this.
No, but he's not going to be able to. So is the difference between natural strength and being able to move when you're in slow motion. That actually wouldn't work. The spirit auto fail,
Good
right?
thing. I have a +7 dexterity saving throw, so
Yeah.
that would have went poorly.
It does specifically say a creature, so it doesn't matter if there's 15.
No, yeah, I
halflings
can't grab
next to
both.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
so I was just going to do this on just Reich, and then we'll worry about the rest of the fuckery later.
Yep. All right.
This works.
So you form the sphere, and it does form around Reich, and Reich does Reich. So what it is that you see in your perspective is you're having this conversation. You're like stressing out, grabbing your head as you were showing beforehand, having this conversation with Bellum, and then you look up, and Bellum starts to say something to you, but like the third word in his sentence sounds muted, and so like you look up and you look around, and Bellum is like he's talking at you, but he seems muted, like one of those like.
Yeah.
You know, it's very hard to understand him. How do you react?
I like kind of shake my head and I close my eyes for a moment. I just like blinking, trying to see if the spell is affecting me. I look around and I'm gonna try to And did I see Stalbor disappear?
No, you did not see Stalbor disappear. Stalbor's still
so
there
I'm
doing
gonna
what he was
reach
doing
out.
before him.
I'm gonna reach out to Stalbor and I said I think something's happening to me.
As you go to reach out to Stalbor, all of a sudden you touch some force, and like you kind of like feel around and you notice there's a force around you. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, and then, well, when that happens, I kind of step back and I'm gonna feel around, try to feel the confines of this ball.
So what you guys see is that you cast a spell on Reich. It clearly works on Reich, but Reich is still standing there, head down, moving so slow it's not perceivable, right? He's moving incredibly slowly. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you see Reich at his normal, like, fast speed, reach out and touch the side of the thing. Like, it's just incredibly, like, it almost makes you jump because how quickly he does it. And he's holding on to the thing, and as he's doing so, you can start to see, like, the muscles in his hand are very slowly starting to twitch and move at a normal rate and whatnot. Same thing as his arm, like the muscles in his forearm, and then his biceps and triceps, so on and so forth. They start to move at a normal rate. Eventually, what you feel, Reich, is as you're reaching around trying to touch the sphere, all of a sudden you start to feel like a pain running up your fingers, running up your hands, your wrists, your arms, running all throughout your body. And as this is happening, as more or less you're being pulled from that reality into this one, the reason why it hurts so much is because you're remembering all of the pain of all the injuries that you actually suffered from before, all of the ki that you've used, and you're realizing, like, oh shit. And then you look around and you can see, like, in like one kind of quick burst, just everything around your reality just completely shifts. And it's very disorienting for you.
I just blink, and I look. So I'm still in the orb, right? But do I see the scene now? The scene as it actually is. I look around. I walk over and I feel for the orb. It's still activated.
Yep.
I nod, and I wave at Stalbor and Bellum, kind of let them know, hey, I'm back.
Okay. He's gesturing for you to come here.
All right, so I try to come.
It
You
takes you
can
a moment.
roll the ball like a hamster ball.
It takes you a moment to figure it out.
yeah.
It takes you a moment to figure it out, but eventually you're like, oh, and you can actually like hamster ball roll it. You know what I mean? And get yourself forward and through the sphere itself, and so you're perfectly safe.
Okay.
At this point, Genocide has been moving very slowly for so long that he's actually most of the way to the actual arch itself, like almost about to get through the arch itself.
We can just leave him. Leave him to do
I
his thing.
dispel the orb on Reich when he gets on the other side of the archway.
Of course.
I look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah,
Okay. That was very.
Yeah, but so he's almost to the arch, but we're talking like what, another 20 minutes before he's actually
Yeah.
through?
A couple minutes.
Okay.
we
And
should
how
try
about the
to
guy
help
behind him?
The guy behind him is unfortunately as frozen as the two of you guys were.
We should try to help Haldren first, and then we can help out.
Stalbord said he doesn't give a fuck about that guy. Why are we helping him?
Because he saved us, he helped us get out.
All right, and I believe he tagged along to your getting out.
Yes.
All right, you got him out of prison.
this is not the way you repay people who save your life.
It's neither here nor there. I don't know how much magic we have left, and I don't know if going back into that field will pause us in time in some sort of false reality. So honestly...
It's not worth it.
Then how did you escape?
I went through the portal to get him.
And I'm very smart.
So then, that stands to reason that we can move into the portal.
I can. I don't know about you guys, and it hurts like a bitch when I do.
All right, I'm going to step through the portal. If I stop moving at the edge of the portal, it'll be easy to get me back out.
Yep.
And I'm going to go step through the portal.
Okay. So you go starting to trying to walk through the portal, and as you go walking through the portal, you step out. You step through it, no problem.
Do we perceive him as not moving?
No. You don't perceive him as not moving. He walks through the other side, and then he just turns around and comes back this way, and he comes through no problems.
Just quick metagaming.
Mm-hmm.
This fire guy is like a level humongous, and he can't move, so I can hit him with all my arrows and just kill him, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, technically speaking, yeah.
I'm not gonna kill him.
Sure.
I'm going.
And if you're curious about the XP that you would get from that, it'd be almost non-existent because the challenge rating 0.
Boo.
So I walk through the portal. I'm gonna walk over. Do I still see Haldren?
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to Haldren and try to grab him and pull him.
Sure. So I mean, Haldren's instinct is to resist or whatever. But eventually you grab him, you're able to kind of, pull him through the portal. And as he gets through the other side, it's kind of like it thrashes for a moment at first. You can see that his hand flares up. Each one of his fingertips are glowing different degrees of red and blue and fire as it looks to you and prepares to hit you with some sort of spell. Then once he kind of realizes exactly what's going on, that things aren't what they seemed, he shakes his head a few times, taking a few moments to grab his bearings, and puts the fire out in his hand. And he's like, okay. I think I know what just happened.
Well, if you could explain it, we would be very much interested. Because we don't.
No, I mean that wasn't real.
Oh, yes. That's correct.
And with this kind of looking around and seeing that there's a new person there, he'll actually turn to Bellum and he'll say, I imagine you're a part of them. It's a pleasure to meet you. Or one of them. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'll just acknowledge, I make eye contact with him, and I just go yeah.
I've had many dealings with your family in the past. You are, they're very trustworthy. They're good peoples.
I kind of just I size him up. I kind of want, I guess, an insight roll because I'm kind of just looking into him. Sure. He met with my family.
He seems genuine.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Well, I guess we all have to get out of here now. As I look over to
we have to wait for
Warforged. I know. As I look
why
over
don't
to
you just pull
Warforged,
him through too?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Reich and Haldren can kind of go over together and pull him through. While they're doing that, Stalbor, could you roll me a perception check, please? And Bellum too, because you're not assisting with genocide, I imagine. Oh, Jesus Christ, Stalbor!
You grumped me up with this trap stuff. I want to roll 20s all day.
Jesus!
Ruin all your plans.
Come on! What the hell, Ollie? You're how dare you put a trap in a prison to keep the prisoners in?
I like that the trap was at the end of the whole debacle.
Well, not entirely. So you notice.
Admittedly, there was the whole explosive door thing. That was pretty cool.
So one of the things that you notice is that you actually notice a bit of a glowing down the tunnel, much further down the tunnel, but not the same glowing that you'd seen with the Kyber shards beforehand. Okay, so you look up and you see that there's the glowing there, and you're looking, trying to make it out. Now, most people probably wouldn't be able to make out these details. However, you happen to be very, very familiar with dwarves, and you realize that the glowing that's happening there is because there's a dwarf, or the shadow of a dwarf, stepping consistently in between these. Those definitely look like runes being drawn on the ground. Yeah, there's runes, glowing runes
behind
being
us
drawn on the ground.
in the cavern?
Further down the cavern, exactly. And there's a dwarf going out with the motions, doing something over there.
Do I notice any of that?
No. I had this DC set at a 20.
No, that's fair. Just curious.
I just grab Bellum's sleeve and start pulling him that way. And then we don't have a mutual language, I'm fairly sure. So I just go there's a dwarf casting spells.
I look over to see where he's pointing,
Yep.
and I will start heading that way. Just a lone dwarf.
I don't know, but I head over as well.
Yeah, I start heading
Ready
toward him.
to smash.
Yeah, Hulk smash.
So you start making your way over towards the dwarf again, because he like more or less gives you the advantage, the bonus on perception. You can see the dwarf, the shadows. You can see the gloaming, all that stuff. You don't see the runes. Stalwart, the 25 got you the runes.
Right.
So as you guys are making your way over there, you can see you see that there is a dwarf finishing. Like it looks like he's probably finishing up. You can tell not because like you can read the spell, but because you know how spells are formed. Damn it, trying to chew chewy stuff while talking.
Yeah, you really chose just the worst.
Snack ever.
Just shouldn't have taken a bite.
It's like the waitress comes over and goes,
You think you'd
"Are you
learn by
enjoying
now?"
your food?" And you're just like,
Oh,
My wife gave me pork.
"No."
We don't eat beef usually. We eat a lot of pork. Like I love pigs. They're delicious. And so my wife gave me pork right before the stream. And I'm like, oh no, it's the worst thing to eat on stream.
worst thing to eat.
That's all, folks.
It could be soup. So, anyway, yeah. So hopefully I don't eat my soup that way. I guess only viewers could tell. So, so anyways, you as you're walking over there, you can see that clearly they're finishing off the spell. You can tell by just the way the runes are scribed that this is the tail end of the spell. You're still a good distance from the person, a solid like 150 feet or so, as you're getting up there. Do you say anything? Do anything? Do you hurry up, or do you just keep walking towards them?
I actually quickly I would say to Stalbor, do you want me to shoot?
Yes.
I want to line up a shot and shoot. Then he's within range, well within range.
Okay. So then is it well within range, 150 feet?
I have a 600 feet range.
Oh, that's right, because you
without
don't take
disadvantage.
penalty. Yeah, that's right. That's funny. So you take a shot, sir.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the -5.
Well, you
I would've said it
beforehand.
I know it was still rolling on my screen. That's why I was like, no.
He went before he clicked.
Yeah.
Kind of the thought
Yeah.
didn't end.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was like, oh.
And then when the die
no.
did. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Dealing 7 damage. Boo.
So you line up the shot, and so while they're kind of finishing up what's going on back there, they pull Genocide through. Genocide starts coming too. I'll handle that in a second. They can also, something catches their perception over here of you just taking a shot. Again, we'll go back to them in a second. When you hear, "Argh!" and the dwarf looks up, sees you guys coming, and then as he does so, stomps his foot on top of the what are they called? The runes there. And as he stomps his foot on top of the runes, you hear, and like the vibrations, the sound of what just goes reverberating down the tunnel and up towards you guys. The sound is so loud that it actually causes a gush of air that hits you guys, sending Stalbor's long hair kind of like flowing in the wind for a second. The sound is
sexy.
So loud.
Maybe he's born with it. You know.
So anyways,
Maybe he died with it.
funny thing about that Bellum, you haven't noticed yet. So the wind's gonna blows his hair back or whatever, and it sets off a huge sound. But more importantly, after that loud sound ends, you can hear a constant being left
We all
behind
need to run very, very fast.
in that exact spot.
I will do exactly that thing.
You will hold on for a second, Reich. Bellum, you can roll me a.
I don't want to hold on.
Bellum, you can roll me a history check with advantage, please. Then we're gonna go to Reich.
Stalbor's +5 intelligence already figured out what's going on. Ollie figured out what's going on.
Ollie, what's going on?
He's shattering the Kyber shards that have monsters trapped in them.
Might be doing some really bad stuff. So who knows what that explosion did? Because maybe Star Wars correct, maybe not. But you know that leftover noise is specifically something. It's a type of the frequency that it is something that's used to attract aberrations, like the lower intelligence ones, the dumber ones, the Dollar Grim. This is something that would pull them to the area, and so he does that. Could specifically Stalbor and Bellum just roll me a quick what's it called?
Initiative?
Initiative. You don't have to click your figure. You can just roll it.
I'm gonna do it. Because I already did it.
Ugh.
It just took me an embarrassingly long time to find where it was on the sheet. I've only been playing this campaign for like a year. But,
Actually, it has been, I think, a little over a year. I just looked at an old email from you, and I was like, what? Really?
What are you doing looking at my old emails?
This campaign started the end of April, beginning of May last year.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
What up?
Yeah, well, you didn't even know our anniversary passed for us to celebrate. So anyways, Bellum, you can see that clearly he just did that. You technically can act first at about 150 feet away from this dwarf if you care to do anything else. You have no idea what the explosion, the loud noise did, but you know what this humming does.
Yep. I'm going to... That doesn't make... Oh my! I'm going to cast Silence on that area. Yes! First time I can use it. I knew I took it for a reason. I knew I took it for a reason. You said about 120 feet.
No, you can move up 30.
I move up 30 feet.
No!
Boom! Silence.
What a hero.
I was contemplating such better spells. I was like, no, Kieran's gonna do some stupid shit, and I can cast Silence on her, and it stops the spell. This is that.
That's the same reason why Stowball learned Resilience Fear.
Oh my god.
We did this for you, Kieran.
Okay.
It's all for you.
So you oh god, that's crazy. So anyways, you cast Silence. You move up 30 feet, cast Silence on the area. It gets completely quiet. Kind of funny. It was literally the dwarf's turn next. The dwarf starts to incant something. So as you go walking forward, it's like Born Gildar Shnupur. And then you do the silence in the area, and the dwarf's you can see that he's really pissed off. So he holds up a He holds up a charm that he has on his neck, and he starts walking forward out of the area of silence. And you can hear he says in Dwarven, if you guys speak Dwarven, he calls out "Return!" And as he calls out "Return," he is going to. Ollie, you're going to interrupt that with something?
No, it's just I'm the one that knows Dwarven.
Okay, so you know that he calls out
I'm the only
"Return,"
one,
holding
yeah.
this pendant around his neck, and you can see he starts to teleport away. Could you do me a favor?
Has he gone, or is he just like phasing out like it's Star Trek?
Unless you have a
Reaction or something, I can
correct.
do. Okay.
But you can roll me a perception check, Stolly.
Stolly boy.
Oh, Stolly boy.
The pipes.
Are calling.
I would say that dwarf, yeah, I think it's high enough that you'd be able to make it out. So when you actually look down there and you see him doing that, you see him starting to teleport, the glow of the runes behind him as all this is happening, etc., etc., the fact that he got closer, you got closer, blah, blah, blah. You can actually see that this dwarf was the one that was inside the mage's prison.
Oh!
There you go.
He said he was being paid too much for this shit, and yet here he is, getting down here somehow. Demon Town.
And disappears. Unfortunately, that plan probably worked really well, Bellum. All right, Genocide
so
comes
happy.
through the other side. Before the explosion, the loud noise happens, and the whoosh of air comes by. When Genocide comes through, as he comes through, because clearly he was going through his own shit. So, because you guys also didn't really see him reacting very much on your side. He was kind of caught in a limbo between the two things because for some reason the magics didn't work on him the same. So as he comes through, the first thing that he does when he comes through the other side is he actually grabs Reich, who's pulling him through, grabs Reich as hard as he can with both of his arms and starts just squeezing really hard. Reich, you can make an acrobatics or athletics to try to break free.
Stop
Acrobatics.
it. Be less.
Can you be less, please?
Yeah, if you could just not, that'd be great.
Okay. So he comes to pretty quickly and wants to release it pretty quickly. So I'm going to say that with the combination of him just like realizing what he's doing and your just ability to just get out of holds pretty easily, despite the fact that Warforged don't have pressure points the way people do. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go, I'm thumb hold. They go, okay. So you're able to get out of it pretty quickly. And you can see he looks at you. There's no expression because he's a Warforged. He looks at you and just gives you like a slight nod. And then starts walking. Boom. The loud winds comes bursting through the other side, catching all of you guys off guard. And when that burst of wind comes through here, you actually do see his eyeballs crack, as well as the other shards that happen to be in his body, the other crystals that happen to be in his body.
Okay.
That hurt him considerably. He takes stumbles back. It hurt him.
You okay?
I cannot see.
I grab hold of his arm and I say, "Follow me. I'll be your eyes for now."
I'll turn to the back of them and be like, "We need to go now. My spell's only gonna last."
Yeah, I'm pulling them along
minutes.
now. I say, "We're ready to go," and I start pulling them.
Okay. So, I mean, I would love to make this a big, long thing, but unfortunately, it was fucking brilliant, Bellum. Could you do me a favor? Could you roll me a survival check, same as you were doing beforehand,
Yep.
to make your way here? But I think someone was assisting you before.
Yeah, Reich was.
Giving.
I don't know if Reich can now because he's
Mike's a
helping.
little
Correct.
preoccupied.
I'm helping this guy,
Yeah.
so I assume that's probably not going to be.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it normal. That's fine.
Stalbor, does Stalbor want to assist? Or okay, never mind.
Realistically, that doesn't make sense.
We're good.
Okay. I imagine Stalbor's also preoccupied trying to stay a distance.
No, it's just
away
also
from...
he doesn't know shit.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough. So
I imagine though, like what we would do is I would be like, you guys go ahead, and I would stay back. I'd wait for silence to stop. I'd cast silence again. I'd go running to catch up to them because like difficult terrain doesn't bother me. I catch up to them. I wait until I'm like, oh, my spell's about to drop. I cast Pass Without Trace on all of us, and we sneak out as the horde of things keep coming to that point that might still be buzzing. Who knows?
okay. So I can say that after the 8 minutes pass and you guys making a distance, it does still buzz. You can actually hear it off in the distance.
Perfect.
The higher perception people can hear it off in the distance if you lean your ear and listen. But your survival check of 25 makes us like when you hear the reactions of these creatures. Now these aren't like the goblins in Lord of the Rings or whatever they do, like off in the distance, and you hear like the chattering. They're not like that. They move quickly and quietly, but you can still hear like pattering of feet on the ground or banging of things against the walls that scrapes by. You can hear creatures heading towards that area. Again, your DC 25 survival check, the fact that these are your favored creature of fighting, so on and so forth, you actually are able to stop you guys from getting noticed by these. I can't hit you with a horde of zombies. You know what I mean? You're able to actually avoid them entirely. You also can make another survival check to try to make the rest of that gap, getting yourself all the way to the cave entrance again. Okay. Oh, sorry, my apologies. I forgot to mention this before you choose to use an action point or whatever. Reich, would you have assisted now that you guys are a little bit further away from that initial danger area? You've traveled for a bit.
Well, I mean, how is he? Is he still like he can't see?
So my apologies. This is again my bad storytelling. Let's take it back a step. So as you guys kind of get out of that danger area and you take a moment to probably short rest and gather yourselves, what he ends up saying when you guys try to check with him, ignite a light so that you can actually see, because I think Bellum can't even see in darkness, so you need lights to do that. Mm-hmm. Waving lights in front of him, you can actually see that he can see light, but he can't perceive anything. It's almost as though everything in front of him is always lightly obscured. And then the issue is this cave is always lightly obscured because it's dim lights. So it makes it so he's completely blind. So if you have a bright light in front of him, he can kind of stumble himself forward on his own. So the plan is to more or less, if you want to make it...
Are his, the gems in his eyes cracked or anything?
They're cracked, yeah.
He looks pretty fucked up, yeah?
Fuck. That's
I'm
bad.
gonna cast Cure Wounds on him as a level 2 spell.
Go right ahead, sir.
Also, are they cracked or are they completely shattered dust that we left in the wind?
They're cracked and broken apart. Probably chips have fallen out of them. If you went back and looked.
Do I think mending works on that? I mean, it can repair magical items, but it can't return magic.
You honestly know that mending doesn't work on Warforged in general, so probably wouldn't work on this.
Oh, then no. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So with
Yes, it
that,
makes sense though.
you can see that some of the other splits or whatever that happened in his body as he was breaking out of the prison originally, those heal. His eyes do not.
Okay.
Need a lesser restoration for that.
Yep. Yeah, well, I just heal him up, and I will continue navigating. But, Reich, are you going to help me or no?
Yeah, if he can go on his own.
I'll like hold a torch in front of him and walk with him, guiding him. So I'll replace now that we don't have to move as fast.
Yeah, so I'll help him out. I'll throw him the assist.
Cool. So you make your assist. This is Bellum with your 16. Are you happy with your 16?
I have no action points, so yes, I am.
There you go.
Although, no. I was going to say, Reich's assisted me, but Reich doesn't have any left either, does he?
I have 1.
Reich?
I don't think it's important enough.
Okay.
You don't think it's important enough to get out of the cave quick enough without encountering any other baddies along the way?
Fine.
So,
It's the baddies like along the way. It's more
Without-
the baddie above.
yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna do it because apparently.
Oh no! I dropped pork.
Now I'm gonna roll like garbage. For the rest of the day.
No, it's a
Don't
20
eat
now.
that floor pork.
Don't eat. He's going to eat the floor pork.
Don't eat the
He's
floor
going to eat the floor pork.
We're gonna cut. Someone
I mean,
clip
I
it.
guess it's
Someone
your
clip
floor
it.
in your
Everyone
office,
needs
all
to
the
know.
places. It's probably.
Oh, there's dog hair all over it. Never mind.
Everyone needs to know.
I actually thought about biting it, and then I was like, no.
Nah, good call.
Yeah. All right.
That would have been funny as hell.
All right. So with the 4, wow, it's beautiful. You guys are able to make some good headway. Let's cut back across. We'll take the camera, zooming its way out of the cave at a rapid pace.
Star wipe.
Far quicker than you guys are able to go. Far quicker than you guys are able to run. This camera is zooming its way out, splashes itself underwater, through that tunnel underwater, rises itself along the anchor's chain to the surface, but also sometime in the past. Kyrann, they went under.
Uh-huh.
The plan was to collect them, playing dead, from over by the actual Dreadhold itself. You weighed anchor, you set sail, timing things appropriately, and you started sailing over in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
You went there. You, again, waited until it was around when you were supposed to be gathering them, and then you started setting your course towards Dreadhold to be even closer to the building. Was your plan to circle it, to go to an area and just kind of like wait there, to wait to get the last... Circle it? Just like circling Dreadhold? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You start circling Dreadhold.
Very conspicuously. That's fine.
Very conspicuously. The time comes where you're supposed to collect your companions.
Mm-hmm.
The time passes where you're supposed to collect your companions. Your companions aren't there. They haven't joined with you yet.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, you can see that a red light flares up into the sky. A spark of red light showers down, and through a spyglass, in perception checks, you're able to look and see. That's right, Ollie. She has a spyglass. I allow it.
I already knew this. We used it 2 sessions ago.
I was making a joke from Yaviskar.
Yeah.
You don't own a spyglass. Kyrann owns a spyglass.
It was a joke from Yaviskar about how Vale thought he could have one, and I was like, no. And you were like, no.
That's Neil being stupid, not me.
I know. Never mind. It was a throwback for you, Ollie. Never mind.
No.
Never
You
mind.
can
everyone-
blow
everyone
your
make
back
fun-
out, old man.
It was an
Everyone jump on Scott now, please.
No, okay.
Hit him up, chat.
So it's a pork
So
pile.
what do I see?
So you see the shower of sparks comes down. You can see that everybody, the guard and everything, are all reacting at this point in time when this happens. Ballistas are aimed towards your ship. You can see that clearly what would be a mage, somebody that's got robes and has a staff in their hands, comes to the top of the keep and stands there looking down. They're clearly watching your ship as it's circling. All this is happening when your companion is supposed to be arriving and then not arriving. What do you do? Do you continue to circle? What do you do?
I continue to circle at a safe pace.
So you back up a little bit and continue circling?
Yeah, about, the distance of a lightning bolt or fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's mage. And I know that spell. And yeah, I pace a lot. I tell Ed that we should have gotten the airship. Crashed it into it. Should have got my plan originally, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
And you just continue to allow time to pass like that. Okay. So the eventually, as like another 2 hours pass when this is the case, the knowing that you're clearly watching up and whatnot, you actually have the elf that's with you from the blood cells calls out, in Elvish, of course. Hey, Captain. they're trying to get your attention or our attention, and then hands you the spyglass.
Okay. I look.
When you look through the spyglass, you can see that there is a two dwarves standing there. One of them is wearing the robes, getting clearly the mage with the staff in the hand and whatnot, and the other one is looks to be important based off of the armor and everything they're wearing. Actually, you're very familiar with the house. You're a house member yourself. You can clearly tell this is going to be one of the lieutenants or the captain of this keep right here, and they're standing next to him, and he's waving to get your attention. When the wizard nods, you can clearly tell that he knows that he has your attention. And so he gestures to himself and gestures to you.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for a spell. No.
No, so do you nod or do you give some sort of
I
acknowledgement?
nod.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then the wizard taps the staff a couple times, waves in the air, and then throws it over towards you. And you see that the air ripples in a bridge heading over towards where you are. Now, even though
I don't want that.
Even though your ship is still moving, even though the ship is still moving, because of the bridge that's seeming to form is comprised of what looks to be air, like solid air. It does bend to follow along with the ship as it moves.
How interesting.
So the captain, or whatever they are, does step up and looks like they're about to start walking on the bridge towards your ship.
You know what? I'm going to meet them halfway there. I'm going to have N come with me to do the talking. And we're going to leave Mia in charge of the ship.
Okay, not a problem. So the two of you step on the other side of the bridge and start walking towards it as they're walking towards you. Sure. So as you guys walking towards each other, the person comes up to you, meets with you, and with that, we're going to take our first break. Toodles.